This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com.
Okay, I had to make an adjustment here because I realized that I had put this quest in the wrong spot, and on the card it actually shows. So I was able to fix that, and unfortunately now it puts us in a really bad spot, especially since the king's out, the dead king is out. So now we got to kind of figure out what we want to do next, and that's not going to be easy. So we're going to still move cautiously because we don't know where he's going, and I don't want to start running around the place. But I do know that if we can get and hopefully roll something really bad, he'll take a direct line there. But his movement is, because we're playing single player, 0-1. So what that means is he has no movement, but only moves as many towns as he has infected or destroyed or overtaken or corrupted. So we're going to get on the road here, okay, and that's going to be one cautious movement. Now that means, again, we're going to roll our blue and our yellow die. Now hopefully we can roll it properly this time and not have it mess us up too badly. So a 2 and a 4, so we don't use any food, but still we're so close to getting some kind of, if only we had another point into that, we'd be harvesting gold. So that's our skill check. Now the circumstance roll. So what's going to happen here? 2. Okay, well, this is a little bit better for us because now this is putting us on a different path, because here we go. We have some kobolds that we could possibly fight. They only have a health of 4, but they do have a defense of 1. So I think we're going to try to fight these guys. Why not? So let's get that set up. So this is the way this is going to work out, and combat is done in rounds. Now, as you can see, we have a battle mat here so we can figure everything out, but what I really need to do is kind of just put this down here nice and easy so you guys see exactly what's going on. I can choose any one of these things. I can defend, but because we're solo, you can use your defend and your attack at the same time. From what I understand, it's not very clear. So the kobolds, we're going to roll. We'll discuss them when that happens. But here's exactly what happens. Now, this battle mat's really helpful because it kind of keeps track of everything that you need to keep track of. Now, I have a health of 9 right now, so I'm going to use my cleave. I'm not going to use my special abilities. I'm going to use cleave. So that is going to cause 4 damage. Okay? And this is where you you get to figure all this out. He has a defense of 1, so we can just put that for that as a negative. So what the total damage is going to be done is 3 to him, leaving 1 damage. It's not going to cost me any energy. So now I have to do just 1 more damage to him. But combat happens simultaneously, where I've damaged him for 3 because we went right through. We're going to roll onto this chart. He has a chart next to him. I'm going to roll on it, and it is 2. And what happens is dual target health. Now the bottom here tells how much damage. I am going to take 2 damage from him. So I have a shield of 5. So can he get through that? No, he cannot. So it's 2, and it gets absorbed. So there was no way that he was going to hurt me whatsoever with a defend of 5. Defend and use item. Okay, there we go. So I was able to block his damage with my 5, so that is all fine and dandy. So we're going to erase this off, and then we would go to the next round of combat because it happens simultaneously. We keep on fighting until there's an end. This time I'm going to again do the cleave action, which is 4. His minus is defense of 1, and 3 is going to go through. We're going to roll once again on the die, and it is a 1. He's going to hit me for 2 more, but Fortunately, I'm able to defend with it, and it's not going to cause any damage, and the Cabal is dealt with. Now, what do we get out of that? Well, let's take a look. On the card here, it'll tell us exactly what the group is awarded, and that's 3 gold. That's good because we need some gold. We had 1 here, so we can readjust this, and now we have 4 gold. And our enemy is dispatched. I hopefully did that right. Now, if I didn't do it right, I'm sure you guys will put it in the comments and let me know. So, now that that's done, now we have to find out, and we've negotiated that, we have to decide what the heck we're going to do, because we just did our circumstance, and we're going to turn this over, and it's a giant boar this time. Alright, here we can negotiate him on another turn. But right now, we're at the event stage. And is there anything that we're standing on that is going to cause an event? No. But now is the Dead King's turn. So what's the Dead King going to do? Well, we're going to roll a d6. Now, if you remember, I marked down on the battle sheet here, and I'm going to move this over to the side here. And as you can see, he moves 0-1. So he's going to move 1 square every turn towards his next objective. What's his next objective? Well, we're going to roll and find out. It's 5. So that's not great because it's right near where he wants to go. So he is making a beeline. He ignores all kinds of terrain, anything that gets in his way. He is just a steamroller, and he is going to be moving towards that particular city. Now that puts us in a pretty bad spot, as you can see, because this quest here, which is number 3, which is actually, which one? Let's just double check here. Oh, this is the dual quest. And the problem with this is that we have to roll off of our gold, off our Explore dice. We only have an Explore of 1. So the chances of getting a 1 in 10 thing is not that great. But if we head over here using the road, we can do the navigate and pray for a little success, and maybe get a card that'll help us, an item or something from this deck if we are able to negotiate it. But again, it is a dual quest, so we're kind of in a bad spot because over here there's another dual arc quest, and there's just nothing good here that can happen out of this. And he's marching to destroy the next city. Once he takes this city over, what's going to happen? Well, he's going to be able to move 2, and if he's close to us, we're going to fight and we're going to get wiped out. And that's what we don't want to do, because what we want to do is build up this guy so we can get him jacked up and do some damage. Now, what do? Well, we're into our next turn, and we're back to our movement phase. And our movement phase is, well, geez. The way I see it, I think we're going to move 4 because this is a road. We're going to skip over this quest. We don't have to stop on it. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that is going to be our entire movement. We're going to roll our skill. Now again, that was cautious movement on a road. So we don't get to wander. Because if we did wander, we would end up having to negotiate that boss area. And we don't want to do that. So we're going to roll our Explore and our Survival. Now hopefully we can keep rolling low like we have been. And well, this is really good because we have a critical success. Alright, and of course that was nothing there. Alright, Survival. If hero rolls all hexes during the skill phase, draw a power-up card. Each hero gains a bonus. Well, that was really good for us. If you roll a hex on your survival check during the skill phase, each hero regains 1 loss energy. Well, we didn't use any energy, so if a hero rolls all hex during skill phase, all hexes. So if that was a hex too, we would get something really cool. We would be able to draw one of these cards. Oh, I see, I got all excited for nothing. So much for that. Well, that takes care of our skill phase. Now it's the circumstance phase. So what's going to happen during here? Hopefully it's something a little bit better. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Injured. Well, because we moved the way we did, it says, fallen town folks have surrounded and assaulted the hero. The dangerous scenario has left the group gravely injured. Roll a six-sided die. Each group of the member loses this amount of health from the maximum pool. Ooh, this is not good. The loss is temporary and only lasts until this affliction is lifted. This affliction remains for 4 game turns until you can rid of it. Well, obviously we're not going to want to do that, so we are going to skip that phase. We have not moved normal or anything else. Oh man, look at this, a plague beast I drew. Boy, I'm not doing too well here. So the whole thing is that you know, we needed to negotiate some of these things, and we're not doing it because we're moving cautiously. Unfortunately, he's out now, and he's heading in a beeline for what he wants. Now the events, we have no events, so we are going to move him 1. So he's moving even closer. So now here we go into yet another turn. Well, we're going to have to take some risk here because we definitely do have some real problems here. And what we're going to have to do is we are going to have to just move cautiously onto this hex. So what does that mean? Okay, well, we're going to negotiate this particular quest. We'll worry about that after we roll. We moved cautiously, so we're not going to be affected by anything that's going to cause us any harm. You do not have to do if you roll. Okay, so now we're going to roll our skill check, and hopefully something good will happen. Well, we still rolled underneath. Man, I'm rolling low on that blue die, and that's helping us. So we haven't used any food again. We were able to find enough, but we weren't able to find any gold. So that's our skill check. Now the circumstance. We still do a circumstance even though we have landed on a quest. So what's going to happen here? Well, there definitely can't be anything good. A 6, which means that we don't have to take this, but it might be something good enough for us to negotiate. And with a 14, jeez, that would be a little risky fighting this guy. Dual target energy. If one target runs out, both suffer 3 health damage and the ghoul blocks 10 damage. He's got 3. Boy, I could reflect it on him if I use that. It's too risky to fight this guy. I'm going to just try to do this quest. we need to power up before we can really get going. So this quest here is really unique because I don't know what this one is, but this is what this card reads. Draw 2 additional quest cards and place them on top of this card face down. Flip over the card on top and show your first quest. You must complete each quest before you can turn in the arc. The arc and all the attached quests count as one quest at turn in. Oh, great. When you turn in the arc, collect the bounty for each quest card, including the bounty for the arc itself. So we're going to get some big cards, but we would have to turn it into a town. So the first part here is the navigate. We're going to have to get 1 success here, and we really got to roll well. The Dwarves have been monitoring dangerous activity along the southern roads. Scouts report that a great slime is to blame. Travel there and attempt to locate the strange creature. Challenge. Camp here next turn. If you do, draw the gray slime out of its lair and battle it here. If you succeed in defeating it, each hero gains a bonus +2 health, maximum and current. Oh, okay. +2. Oh, so we get an overall. Okay, so we're going to have to camp here next turn and negotiate this. Well, that doesn't sound like fun. You draw the gray slime out of its lair and you may battle it here. Well, what's the gray slime's things? Oh, if you succeed in defeating it, so I would have to roll my navigate success in order to defeat it. So I would have to roll a 3 or under. But I'm going to have to camp camp here next turn. Challenge camp here next turn. Okay, so that's what's going to happen. So we have to stay here for an entire turn and just camp there and then negotiate that particular thing. So now that we've done that and we've negotiated that, we are going to go to our event, which we just took care of. We took care of the circumstance, and now the dead king moves. And as you can see, he's getting dangerously and dangerously closer to where he wants to be. He's only a few hexes away, which means things are going to get pretty precarious. Can we get through the navigate? Can we navigate and be able to roll under a 3, or is this going to be a wasted turn and a quest and we're going to have to rethink what we're doing? Well, folks, there's only one way to know, and that's to see what happens in our next video, which will be in a couple days. We're breaking this up into like 10-minute segments, anywhere from 5 to 10-minute segments, so you guys actually can enjoy it and not be here for the full 2 hours. And we're going to play this all the way through, or until we get smashed by, yeah, the Dead King, which seems pretty much likely at this point. Until next time, it's your old pal Rob, and we will see you soon.